or Super Pro. So there you go. In fact, I'm going to change the name of this. I'm not going to call it Pro 38 Round 6. I'm going to call it Pro 38 Final Round. Watch me. I am not scared to do it. Booyah. Right there. Yeah. All right, Zach Besaw, what do you want the story to be? I'll make something up. Yeah. Andrew Klosky, you are welcome for me bringing you the live feed. But I want you to thank my sponsors. Without them, I'd be a mess. No, not that kind of sponsor. No. In all honesty, couldn't do it without Aeromotive Fuel. Right there. Aeromotive Fuel Systems. And here in like 30 seconds, it's going to switch to somebody else. So I want to thank Aeromotive, Autometer, Holly, Molly, Race Pack, and Mark Williams. And for this event, their special Spring Fling Million presenting sponsors are Jegs and Hoosier. And of course, it's FTI Saturday. I feel kind of dirty when I tickle it like this. I'm just saying. Okay, so... Oh, I'm reading the chat. If you are like, why are you looking over on the side and who the hell are you talking to, Chad? I'm talking to the people in the Bang Shift chat. So if you're watching on YouTube, then come on over to bangshift.com, hit the live button at the very top, or the one that says Spring Fling Million, or the giant banner that says Spring Fling Live Drag Racing, blah, 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 across the middle of the page. Click on that. You'll find our chat. And you can even do like the pop-out chat, and then it's not in the way of everything. Neil's now calling me Peanut Reynolds. Watch out, Minion. Watch out. So let's see here. Ron Butts is talking about doing a super gas car with no throttle stop. Like it. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Daryl says, hi, Chad. There's a group of racers that join up every Saturday night at 10 p.m. via Facebook Live. Sounds like a group of people that have no lives. I'm just kidding, dude. Totally me. If I'm not at a drag race. Called Burnt Toast. It'd be cool if you join in during a break. Oh, tonight is Saturday. Dude, 10 o'clock. What time zone? 10 o'clock. Is this a 10 o'clock Pacific thing? Is this a 10 o'clock? Jeff Foster is honking at me. I thought he was going to move me for a minute. He's in his new fancy-dancy tractor, and he loves it, let me tell you. Okay, so, but I don't know if he named it yet. I need to find that out. So, yes, 10 p.m. when? I mean, like Central, Eastern, whatever. If it's Eastern, then it's already 10:28. If it's Pacific, then that's in 3 hours. If it's Central, that's an hour from now. And Mountain is another hour from now. Central. Boom, Daryl, gotcha. Okay, maybe. Daryl, send me a Facebook Messenger message with a link or whatever to what I got to do. Thank you, Thomas Homack. I appreciate it. Mark Fattori says that his fellow... Dude, Mark Fattori, when I say your name, all I want to do is say it like a New Yorker. Like, hey, I'm Mark Fattori. Hey. Sorry. It's totally not nice. I apologize. No, I don't. Says his fellow Ohio racer is going to win Pro 38. Well, dude, duh. I would think so. What was the total count this weekend? Don Morris, I'm going to give you a guesstimation because I don't know how many extra people came in exactly, but I will tell you that on Wednesday it was like 440 or something people were here, or cars were here, 425 or 40 or something. Every day we've had a handful of others that got a time trial, which means that they were cars that never had made it, down the racetrack previously. So I'm going to say just shy of 500 would be my guess. 480. And we'll see. Then, Daryl, it's Chad Reynolds. If you look on Facebook, you know how, like, if you look at a person's URL, it has a name and a number. It's Chad Reynolds 940. I don't know what the 940 means, but it's Chad Reynolds 940. Pro 38 final has been called to length. So I don't know why they're even going to run it, dude. Come on. Fattori's buddy from Ohio's winning it. Puh. Why even waste the fuel? I need another month. I am really loopy. I have to say thank you to my buddy Bill Gazinski because Bill Gazinski lives here, and I haven't seen him this week because I didn't even tell him I was going to be in town. Spring Fling, and I don't get to see anybody. The only thing I see is the Petro truck stop down the street, the Walmart by the hotel, and whatever drive-through I can make it. So, and the inside of my eyelids and the hotel room. So, I didn't call Bill Gazinski, and then I just sent him a message a little while ago and said, hey, dude, I'm checking on off-site airport parking in Las Vegas, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of options because I normally do like the park and fly thing because I have to leave the Suburban here for a week. And then I was a little bit nervous about leaving it here for a week because it's nice and it has stuff in it. So I asked Bill where he would park it, and he said my driveway. So tomorrow I am not only going to park my Suburban at 5 o'clock in the morning in his driveway, but he is kind enough to give me a ride to the Aeropuerto at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is awesome. So big thanks to Bill Gazinski. Blah, blah, blah. Ooh, Fattori, I got the name right. Yeah. Let's see. Awesome. Thanks, Chad. I wonder if that's up or down from years prior. Oh, Don Morris, that is up. The event keeps growing in the number of cars. And now only 260 of those entered the million, which was yesterday and cost $2,000 to enter. When it's a guaranteed purse of 200,000, regardless of the number of cars per year. Between 200 and 400 entries means that the purse will be that many hundreds or that many $1,000. So if there's 200 people, it's 200,000. If it's 260 people like yesterday, it's 260 grand. If it's 396 people, it's $396,000. The magic number for $1 million purse to the winner is 550 people. Now, we're a long way from 550 with 260. Nobody will argue that. But dude, 260 grand to the winner is a huge damn payday. So, I think it will get there eventually. Or it will get, I shouldn't say, I don't know if it'll get to 550, maybe. I don't know. It's a long way to Las Vegas. But I think it'd be really cool. Especially if it's the year I win. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. No, Ron Butts, it is not cold here. It was very nice on Wednesday. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wednesday, it was chilly. Okay. It was supposed to be nice, and it was. It was just chilly, but nice. But windy a little. Thursday was supposed to be a little bit chillier, and the wind was supposed to be less originally. It was colder by a little bit, but the wind chill factor was probably 4 billion below zero because the wind was blowing like, insert your mom joke here. So I was dying. Then yesterday it was lovely. It was like 80 degrees, beautiful, just a nice breeze. It was windy a little here and there, but not bad. Very comfortable and lovely. In fact, I was slathered up with the sunscreen. I didn't realize how slathered up until I got to the hotel room, by the way. I was all white. It's crazy. But I didn't put any on my legs, and my legs got a little bit sunburned because I haven't been out at events very much in the last year and a half. So I'm getting back in shape. So today I slathered on even more, but today I went for the spray, so I didn't turn white. And my arms are good. My hands are a little sunburned. Funny story. Face is good because I covered up with a towel and a big floppy hat. Legs, not a happy camper today, but they're not torched, but they just weren't happy. So I had to put pants on earlier because the sun was just brutal because there was no wind today at all. And the sun was just intense as hell, as you can imagine, here in the desert. Mark Fattori, I don't know if you're going to see me at Norwalk. Not for live stuff. We're not doing anything live there. But I don't know. I might be there. We'll see. I love Norwalk. It's awesome. Great racetrack. I've raced there a bunch. Blah, 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 blah. Tim Crawford, according to the Spring Fling webpage, there were 334 cars pre-entered. That's for the whole week, not the million. And yes, that was pre-entered, but there were a lot of people that registered here on site. Don Morris is talking about the fact that people should be racing rental cars, and this year actually not as many. I thought there would be more, and I did want to like get the whole rental car mafia going and have a bunch of us rent cars and race them here for the fling, and I just couldn't this time because I had nobody to help me on the live broadcast. It was just this is a bad month, man, a bad month. This event could not have been at a worse time. In fact, I was supposed to be at Tyler Crossnow's event at Beach Bend right now, announcing that event, the Outlaw Streetcar Reunion, which I feel bad because Tyler has had one hell of a weekend. That boy is awesome. Love Tyler Crossnow. He does a great job on his events, and man, he has had nothing but challenges and bad luck this weekend, and he's handled it superbly from what I've heard. So, good. Duh, of course, Neil, I'll let you know if I'm going to Norwalk. Norwalk is our place. Neil and I, that's our special place. We had a couch there. I mean, we rarely sat on it together, but we did have a couch. And beer. Cold beer. No human being possesses more skill at properly chilling carbonated barley pop than Neil Saba. I am making that statement right here live for the world to hear. Because it's a fact. Beer sounds yummy. Indy, I don't know if I'm going to Indy. Dude, I don't know where I'm going next. I have no idea. In fact, I don't even know what live events we have next, and because I haven't updated the page, and I got to do that tomorrow when I'm on an airplane. The only saving grace is that I probably will get roughly this many hours of sleep tonight because of all of the packing and everything that I have to do. And Fattori, we will take you up on the ice cream offer, and we've had some people deliver us some ice cream, haven't we, Neil Saba? So the best was Carrie from Proline Engines, by the way. By far the best ice cream delivery ever at Norwalk. And you had to be there. It was so funny. Anyway, so where was I going? Oh, so I'm not going to sleep at all. And then I have to get to the airport, and because of when I needed to be in Louisville tomorrow to then drive to Indiana, I was trading miles for this trip, and there was no way to get there on like a regular flight, traded deal. So I had to do a first class, which used up way more miles than I wanted to use. But it is what it is. So I am flying with the rich people tomorrow, which makes me happy. Big seat, plenty of room for the laptop, beverages, and, I don't have to actually drive myself anymore from the airport to Jasper, Indiana. I have a guy for that, so technically I can drink all the way to Louisville, Kentucky. It might happen. Watch for Facebook Live updates on my personal page. Dude, Fattori golf cart races for ice cream? Totally down, brother. By golf cart, you mean me taking the doors off my rental car and calling it my golf cart, right? I may or may not have done that before. Just saying. Myrtle Beach in the house. I got to tell you, you know what? I've been like a lot of places. Every state in the union except for Alaska multiple times. And a lot of places. And I don't believe I've ever been to Myrtle Beach. Not since I was really little. AJ Thomas watching the live feed on the way home. He got knocked out by Kasner. Yeah, dude. AJ, send me text. Tell me what your or send me a picture of the time slip because AJ was like 7 thou over, and Kasner was like 14 thou or something, like 104 or something, and beat him. So that means he had to have like Kasner had to step up his game on the light, or else AJ was a snoozing or something. Daryl asking, you have EFI on the wagon. If you're talking about Daphne's 66 wagon, well, yes, actually, it doesn't even matter if you're talking about that wagon. Yes, every station wagon I have is fuel injected. So Daphne's car is a 400 cubic inch blueprint power adder crate engine. It's the low compression one because I planned on putting boost on it. So it's a 9.5 to 1. It makes 508 horsepower on the motor and 300 more than that on the nitrous. And it has Holley EFI on it. It is a Terminator stealth system on it right now. I am going to make it multi-port at some point, probably. Maybe, I don't know. It has a Holley Dominator box running it right now because it's controlling a 4L80E transmission, but it had a HP box in it, which comes with the Terminator when I got it at first, and it will get that back when we're done drag racing it this summer, and I put the 700R4 back in it, which is a lighter transmission, it has more ground clearance, and quite frankly, it's just a nicer on-the-street transmission in a big, heavy car, which sounds funny, but it's the truth. And then Rusty, my 1956 station wagon that most of you don't, well, those of you that have known me for a very long time know Rusty, and it's an incredibly famous car. It's been sitting in my driveway for the last several years and has been neglected, and that's changing this year, but it has an EMS Pro in it from Spectre Performance because I used to work at Spectre when we designed and built that system, actually, and so it's in the car. It will probably get that for a while. It'll probably stay on there. It's a nice system, actually. But ultimately, it probably will get a Holley EFI or something like that too. We're talking about putting a LS with a turbo on it in Rusty. If we do that, I may do one of the Terminator LS systems for it, or I don't know. We'll see. So the Pro 38 final is about to happen. Vroomity vroom vroom vroom. Yeah. Now, which car is the Ohio car? Is it? I'm going to turn on Nate. Hold on.
I'm remembering that Brian Cerruti is sitting in pretty much the exact same spot he was last year in the final of Pro 38.
Absolutely was. Cerruti is a killer on the bottom bulb. He looks like, if I remember right, his last 2 rounds he was Tino better off the bottom. This is the final, and he gets past this round, he's going to mix in with the Super Pro cars.
Yep.
So Cerruti rolling into the water box in that beautiful 68 Camaro, right lane, 650 dialing. Against Brian King. Now, Brian King's a longtime supporter of the Spring Fling. Watch him talk and post on DRR, Scott Lemon's website, about the Spring Fling, on how he enters it every year, and always seems to be excited. Months in advance, pre-enters, and right now he's got a tough one.
Well, he does have a tough one there, but for Brian King, you got that home track feeling. Lives right here in Vegas, races here week in, week out. Has represented the team in multiple B7 final events. Unfortunately, Brian is in trouble on this one. Gave up 7/100ths of a second advantage to Brian Cerruti, and that's just not something that Cerruti's going to let go of easily. So Cerruti 654 on a 650 after his 007. Brian King was 77 on the tree, one above at the finish line, but yeah, kind of like what you had said earlier. You give somebody 7/100ths of a second to work with, and you might as well have just basically thrown a rope around.
Yeah, shut the car off and just save the gas and call it a day, because Cerruti's going to turn on the wind light every single time if you give him 7/100ths.
So with the door cars,
right, it's going to bring up our Super Pro door cars. And check this out. How about a super stocker? Foster, how about a super stocker with a delay box? It's not supposed, those two aren't supposed to go together. He said, whatever. So Ryan McClanahan, in his super stock B modified or C modified car, runs in the Lucas Oil races. Obviously, when he's running in those races in the NHRA circuit, he is not using a delay box. Well, he came over to the Fling. Justin Lamb helped him wire one in. The next thing you know, he's in the late rounds of Spring Fling Million on FTI 30K Saturday. So McClanahan, Dow's 553, is going to leave first by just over 2 bulbs on a Christmas tree, as Dave Dedman in the 1993 Daytona is going to try to track him down. So this is Super Pro door cars. There's only a few of them left. This is, I believe, the last round before the ladder round, and these guys are going off the top both driving the stage. Playing back to Dedman down. Dedman turns it one, little one red. 1 thou red, and McClanahan's going to take advantage and show a 007 4 thou under. Good looking lap. He's ready. He says, bring on the dragsters. Take care. He's going to bring up Jason Shade and Tony Farmer. Farmer with the 63 Corvette Super Gas style car, and Jason Shade. Jason Shade, Farmer, head down the 8th mile strip. Wind light to the better reaction time of Jason Shade. He's 19 on a tree. He's 1 above the dial. That's good enough. As Farmer's 22 on a tree, breaks out by 4 thou, getting there first by 18 thou. So needed to snug that up to 14 thou or less. And Jason Shade moves on to the next round.
Now it's going to bring up Mr. BTE Chance Likens in his Sirocco, and you know, for Chance to have a good day here on the final day, that's kind of that nice little. All right, we can pick ourselves up here, because days 1, 2, and 3 were not nice to Chance and the folks, but they did put on a really nice special on the road. Was down 614, was 18 on the tree to Cortland's 007, and Cortland goes down to a dead-on 6. Chance took a 9 thou stripe, and there was nothing really he could do with that, with Cortland being, 13 pack overall.
13 packs, hard to get by.
No good. Unless, of course, it was like a couple of rounds ago, you're throwing up a 13 pack, and the guy next to you is 8.
What was the deal a couple of rounds ago? I heard you guys saying he's playing possum or try to rope, or what I think that was Eames announcing. Somebody went around the water box. You're going to have to...
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what happened there. That one was the word unexpected. Daryl Contreras and Dan Northrup. Daryl Contreras down 501, and 1 thou under gets the win light for Daryl. 006 taking a chunk of the stripe, breaks it out of thou. Dan Northrup tried to roll out of it, broke out by more, 478 on a 478. So 1 thou under left side, 2 thou under right side. Win light to Contreras.
And I promise you, I know the kamikaze kid Dan Northrup very well. He was 31 on the tree, missed it a little bit. His opponent's 006. He is going to be kicking himself because he just needed to get a little bit further behind the stripe. It's going to bring up my buddy, if I may.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big Vin from Queens, New York, 474 dial. And how about New York meets Florida in Vegas in the late rounds? Vinny Domino, Bradley Snowball. Both drivers. Vinny looks to be in control, and he is. Wow, how about Big Vin? What did I tell you about him if he starts getting hot?
Oh.
005 takes a thou, shaking the scoop to go dead on.
Oh.
Snowball in the left side was 20 on a tree and broke out 1 thou behind.
He took a blowtorch to the Snowball.
This is an interesting matchup,
Well,
Nate.
yeah, it is.
What about Johnny Bracket Racer and Paul Nero?
Well, Paul Nero over on that right side, obviously one of the top 10 players in the world last year, top dragster guys, really good at doing a little bracket racing when it comes down to big speed. Don't normally run it at the 8th mile, but Nero obviously made it this far. Johnny Ezel started that whole conversation about what is, what should, what could be done on the starting line as far as trying to gain a little advantage. And hey, he's rolled through this thing now. 4,000 separation, 2 in reaction time. Advantage was to Paul Nero, but Johnny does it again. 500 on a 499. Nero took 21 thou at the stripe and breaks out by 1. Needed to take 20 or less, and he could have reversed that bulb.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that's one reason why Johnny Ezel has a nickname, Johnny Bracket Racer. I saw a few rounds this weekend where he was at a reaction time disadvantage, and he just knows how to. He finds a way to turn on the win line.
How about this one? Eric Reyes and Gary Williams. G-Dub racing out of Florida. Another of the Florida cars trying to advance here as Eric Reyes.
Stickman.
Yeah. Like fantastic painter, fantastic artist, and a pretty darn good bracket racer when he's hot. And right now he's hot.
Got a tough one in the left. He's got a okay to scoop stops rocking. Here's the win to G-Dub. It's 004. Stickman was, well, let's just call it tardy. 004, 1 over, that's good enough for Gary Williams. The Stickman tried everything he could. He dumped down there, he dropped the hammer, but he was late on a tree, and G-Dub made him pay.
For sure. Andy Morris is driving Casey's car this weekend, today in Logan War. War coming out of Herder, Utah. Sit 503 to Andy Morris's 485. So with Morris and that familiar, I mean, that thing's like Hunter Safety Orange. You put him in any car that it is, you know that it's Andy Morris. Dude, did you see that thing?
He does, and you know what?
He's not getting shot.
I sold him that helmet.
Did you?
And when he ordered the safety orange helmet, I had to ask him 3 times if he was serious, but hey, to each his own.
I mean, is that really what it is, Safety Orange?
Yes, absolutely. Simpson catalog, yep.
Well, all right then, Simpson catalog, Safety Orange. Sitting on the pre-stage bulb, little staging battle going on.
And Andy could be tough. Andy gets one of those drivers that gets on a roll, he could get dangerous. And there is officially a burn down, and I believe it's our first burn down of the weekend, Nate.
Oh.
You gotta have at least one a weekend.
They're gonna wait it out. We'll wait it out, they're gonna wait it out.
Want to put some music on?
Well, we'll see if they're gonna stage it up before I get to it, but if not,
we're up to about 45 seconds.
We are getting there, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's officially a burn down. It's officially a burn down.
Because, yeah, they are refusing to go.
So, sounds like both drivers are in neutral.
They're not moving. Absolutely not moving. All right, how about this?
And the burn down continues. Oh, who will run out of fuel first?
Dude, neither one of them
like it's going to be the question here. Chad, you got to zoom in on this one. Jeff, do we have a curfew tonight? No curfew. Sit there. We're good.
All right, well, since, we can't really play music, what we'll do is we'll start a little short book. I believe the book starts with, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Chapter 1.
And Nate, nobody is moving.
There we go.
War goes in, Morris to shortly follow, and here we go. Both drivers did a pretty good job considering the burn down. Morris was rocking his scoop, took 22, but he took 4 thou too much as Logan Wars 019 dead on with a 7. The Utah driver takes out the Olympia, Washington driver. So after sitting there for what I'm going to say about 3 minutes, they put up a pretty good drag race.
And I'll tell you what, Ted Kellner, who was our bye run for this round, did exactly what he needed to do. He backed it back out of the water, shut it off, said, go ahead guys, do whatever you want. And then by the time they left, he went ahead and refired it up and then turned it sideways in the water box.
His tires might have dried out a little bit sitting there so long. All right, so that will bring up our bye run, Ted Kellner. Pretty sure, does he drive his car on Top Sportsman? I thought Top Sportsman cars can't bracket race. Isn't there the rumor in the NHRA pits is when you talk to the top sportsman guys, they say we need a lot of time between rounds, we can't hot lap, but then you see Don Mazier, and he goes to the final of a bracket race. So
Right.
Point proven.
And Ted Kellner, who's now going to round number 7.
1,480. Probably, if I had to guess, as he stops the clock's 487, maybe he had the opponent's dial in from the round before, the crossover numbers, if I had to guess. Maybe. Or he just missed a tree.
Maybe.
Or he's playing possum like that other guy did earlier.
And we'll tell you about that. Or maybe he's just sitting on the starting line.
For high performance, when you want high performance, there's only one place to go. Jegs.com. Jegs.com has the largest selection of high-performance automotive parts on the web. When you need high performance, Jegs.com has the part you want, when you want it. Want performance? You've got it. Jegs.
What's cool about the dash is it has multiple different screens that we can preset on our laptop. So we have a street dash, and then we have, like full-on race where it just shows the tack, what gear she's in, and then water temp, and oil pressure. And then we also have the screen that has all of the parameters on one screen. We use that when we do our dyno testing and tuning and stuff so that we can monitor everything at once. Our relationship with Autometer and the experience that we've had with them has been really cool.
Want EFI performance without the fuel system hassle? Holley's returnless style drop-in fuel modules take the frustration out of fuel system installation. There's no need to run a return line and no external regulator to purchase or adjust. See it in action at Holley.com.
The quality is obvious. That's why Mark Williams high-torque axles are the most trusted in drag racing. MW axles are forged from superior alloys and are tempered for higher strength and ductility. Each axle is custom machined for the exact application, including length, taper, and spline. Special attention is paid to the splines, which are true involute for more efficient engagement. Weight is important in drag racing, and MW gives you 3 options allowing you to cut unsprung axle weight almost in half. Invest in the best. Mark Williams high-torque axle.
The high-performance fuel systems manufacturer, Aeromotive offers more options for more applications than ever before. Aeromotive fuels hot rods, pro mods, diesel trucks, and everything in between. With a proven track record of fueling multiple drivers to the winner's circle, Aeromotive products are not of the Me Too variety. They're one of a kind. Every product Aeromotive develops solves a problem by offering a logical solution. Aeromotive tests their solutions, holding them to the strictest standards of integrity and reliability. This ensures that you have
Boom. There you go. The the burn down, the staging duel. Dragster guys doing door car things makes dragsters cool. That was awesome. Yeah, that was pro stock style right there. I mean, they were looking at each other and the whole deal. You could see the crew member for the dude in the left lane. He's, like, pulling his hair out, checking the thing. I got to tell you, if I was building one of these things, it could sit there for 4 days and idle and not get hot and not care or any of that stuff. That would be part of my jam, dude. I'd be ready. I'd be ready to either stage so unbelievably fast that you'd be like, oh, holy crap, what the hell did Chad just do? Or sit there until tomorrow. Whatever it took. It was awesome. I like it. Actually, sitting there, the transmission shouldn't get hot. Really. Not sitting there. And not with a good cooler. You put a good flex light on it. One of their really good plate coolers like the B&M style, and a good fan like a Spall or a Flexolite, brushless, man, they'll pull a ton of air through those things and cool them off. If you then liquid cool them, which sounds funny because there's fluid inside them, but if you liquid cool that fluid, then it also gets even more efficient. So yeah, it was very cool. Yeah, it was sort of Warren and Conley-esque. It was even Belmore is Warren and Alderman, one of the most famous pro stock staging duels in history, when WJ afterwards referred to him as the punk kid or whatever, and it was awesome. I think he did the same thing to Conley, honestly. And I love him for it. WJ's awesome. WJ has grease in the cracks and crevices in his finger that are as old as we are, because he is the legitimate dude. And NHRA always tried to instigate him getting angry, and they tried to highlight him acting like a crotchety old man whenever possible, when in fact he, wasn't always that way. So, you guys are saying something to me? Peter and them are saying something, but I can't understand. But yeah, that was an awesome burn down, and like I said, WJ, I'm a huge fan. I like that guy, and he's super sharp, still builds motors and has a great time, and he's a really good dude. And I thoroughly enjoyed watching him race for all those years and do all those duels. Peter talking about the long hours the other night and everything. I gotta say, like, Peter Biondo and Kyle Seipel need no introduction when you hear their names, right? If you're a drag racing fan, you know that both of these guys have a ton of wins. I mean, Peter's won in every sportsman category, I'm sure, and Kyle as well. And it's a really, really cool deal that that they put this event together that is part of the Spring Fling family. Mark Walters covers all of the, with Motor Mania TV, covers all of the East Coast Spring Flings. We do this one here out on the West Coast. And I have to tell you, it's fun. It is a lot of work. I am not doing this event on my own again next year. I've done it on my own a couple times, and a couple of times had help from McTaggart. And next year I am not doing this one on my own. I am begging them to run this event 4-wide next year, at least for the first few rounds. Even if it was only the first 4 rounds or something, it would make the day go so fast running 4 cars at one time. If they do that, I have committed that we will have cameras on everything and get all of the coverage. And so I think it would be pretty cool. Daryl is sending a message about burnt toast. Okay. So AJ Thomas sent me what happened with Kasner. So Kasner went 006, which honestly was what AJ'd been running all weekend or all week. Like 005 lights had been his norm. But he went at 017. And he was dead on with a 7. But the 006 was what Kasner needed. It was 4 thousandths margin of victory at the stripe, so there was nothing he could do on that one. He did get out packaged, that's for sure. But he did take out Bagaki and Damino, which is awesome. So can't argue with that. That's pretty cool. Ron Butts is on the chat window talking about Buddy Ingersoll. Hell yes, Buddy Ingersoll was rad. Okay, so now, Daryl, blah, blah, blah. Bobby is recently. Bobby is live now. Okay, I'm going to see if I can join this Facebook Live thing. I don't know. Oh, there he is.
Over there. Go down the strip. You can see a full out rate car go down there. Pretty cool. Dennis said he's at the Topeka, man. Why ain't you up on the show? I'll get you live on here, Dennis. Come on, man. What are you doing here?
Okay, I'm sending a message to. I don't know who this guy is. I didn't catch his name, but.
No, guys, we need to see some burnouts. Andy's going to try to get a golf cart.
Apparently, burnouts on this burnt toast or something on Facebook Live. God, I am so bright because the light is like.
That's the problem. He's going to manipulate the race right through the tree. You're going to be done. That's a bad thing.
Okay, so yeah, I don't.
That's I'm kind of on the sales side on that. So you got to play games. Hey, bring it on.
So there you go, burnt toast. Okay. Okay, they're talking about hair salon. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do, Daryl, but there you go. I put a message to him saying Chad was here from Bank Shift. So there you go. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. At least do 4 wide during test hits or best package runs. I think that could work too, fan, for sure. There's no question that that would, oh my God, make the time trial go like so much faster. I mean, it would take less than half the time, because it's also the time in between pairs, getting them up to the starting line and all that stuff that's all cut down. So it's kind of crazy, but yeah, so, sorry, I'm turning off the burnt toast. I think 4 wide would be awesome. Craig Garcia, do the 4 wide during the $35,000 run your time thingy they did Thursday. It's $50,000, but yes, the Brodix run for $50K. Yes, that would be awesome. There's no question, because all you're looking for is a pass. Like it's not even competition. So you don't need to have the 2 computers running and all the stuff, because here's the problem people don't understand about 4 wide. Like, you can't just go, hey, let's just run it 4 wide. When 4 cars go down the racetrack at an NHRA event that's running a 4 wide category, like Pro Stock, let's say, all 4 cars are racing each other, and only the first guy to the finish line goes on. So 3 of them are out, and 1 continues on. So the thing about it is, they want to do it traditionally, so you'd have each pair a winner from each pair. So if you send 4, the computer doesn't know how to say, oh, these 2 won and these 2, it doesn't work that way. That's not how it's programmed. So they'd have to figure out how to do that out, or run them as 2 separate drag strips, basically, but run them at the same time, or do a staggered boom, 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 boom kind of thing. Either way, I'm in. So, Daryl is telling me to do something. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Daryl. I'm gonna have to wait. So anyway, I think it could be fun. I think it could be fun because of the fact that there's so many cars here. It takes so long to get through the first round or 2, especially with buybacks and everything. So I think that would be a really cool way to get those first rounds through and get into the meat and potatoes of the event. And get everybody rolling on down the racetrack and getting the event in before 11 o'clock at night or whatever. Now, with that said, I'm the guy in the scissor lift. If I was on the ground having a great time, I don't really care if it went quicker or not. And I don't know that anybody else does either, because this is a spectacle and an event, and it is awesome. And the crew here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway is very used to running events that go all day and late into the night. And they don't miss a beat. They are not the kind of racetrack where, it gets late and the guys get sloppy and tired and all those things. These guys are pros and they know what they're doing and they know how to handle it. And it's pretty cool. So it's pretty neat that that they put on these kinds of events. It's really cool that they chose Las Vegas. This is a great racetrack, and now with this new surface, it's amazingly smooth. I don't know if you guys saw earlier when the first pair of Pro 38 and like round number 3 or 4 went and the scissor lift was still down. I was on the cart thingy spraying the racetrack. I wasn't actually spraying the racetrack. I was riding along while the racetrack was getting sprayed because I had went to the bathroom and then I got on it and rode along. For those of you that'll remember back in our live stream days, live stream the website, I would do live from the tractor and from the vacuum truck during cleanups and from the sprayer and all those things. And I'm hoping we get to do that again, but we have not done that yet on YouTube because they have some stuff that makes it tough. Ron Butts wants quarter mile. You know what? That doesn't matter. Quarter mile versus eighth mile here. Wind becomes an issue sometimes, so eighth mile is just safer so that you don't have to switch midway through an event. Yeah, 4 wide at Streetcar Super Nationals would be awesome. No doubt. So who knows? I mean, that's all Jeff Foster and whoever's event it is and all those things, but I think it could be cool. And I really do think that 4 wide is like a gimmicky, cool, spectacle. Okay. But it brings fans and they like it and it's cool and it's different. So why not, use it. It'll be fun. So. So Mark Vittori in the chat is saying NHRA will not do 4 wide for sportsmen because they don't want safety safari in harm's way if they're cleaning up an oil down while other 2 lanes race during the oil down. Okay, I understand that. However, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I can't remember being at an NHRA national event where a sportsman car oiled down in the last bajillion years. John Force is the guy that oils down everything, but now he's decided instead of spreading his oil all over the place, he's going to light it all on fire so it makes less of a mess. Dave Hill, it's been raining there in Texas. Figures. 4 wide nitro mini bikes. Totally all over it, AJ Thomas. You know that I have a badass mini bike. Although it needs some work. It's been sitting and the clutches all froze up on it. So I need to work on that bad boy. I have a scary mini bike. It really is scary and stupid fast. It's so fun though. Yeah, it's dumb. It will hurt you. But I like it. Okay. I hear cars. I hear NASCAR cars, but I also hear drag cars. Or I say NASCAR cars. Oh, it's Saturday night. They're probably running on the bull ring right now. But I hear dragsters. Or drag cars, I should say. I think any car that runs quicker than 11.0 should have a diaper for sure. But sorry, I'm commenting on Ron Butt's comment the chat window. So, yep, here come cars. Yay! All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying with us and watching. The reason I've been sitting here talking is because we're getting into later rounds. So we got to wait for cars to come back. This is FTI Saturday at the Spring Fling 2018, the Million in Las Vegas. And it has been an awesome event. This is the final day of the event. These guys are racing for $30,000. So we got everybody in the same pool now. It is Super Pro round number 7 of 9, I believe, that we will be doing. And it is looking like a great evening of drag racing. I am going to turn it over to Nate and Peter in the tower. And it is on like Donkey Kong here at the Spring Fling Million.
All right, first pair, here we go, 10 left. G-Dub and Colton Carter. Wow. How about it, racers? So bank shift listeners, how about it? Absolutely. Yeah, we'll make the announcement. Good call. Rich Trimmer from Races for Christ. Rich Trimmer, RFC, please come to the timing tower. As Gary Williams and Cortland Carter. First pair, round 7, 10 left. G-Dub. Staging up from Bradenton, Florida, and Cortland Carter from Hobbs, New Mexico. Well, G-Dub's smooth rocking. That is not a good sign for Carter. G-Dub's 12 takes 19 to go one above. Carter's 30, 497 on a 496. So G-Dub moved down to the round of 5. Another good matchup, Jason Shade and Vinny Domino. Big Vin from Queens, New York, and Jason Shade from North Glen, Colorado. Big Vin kind of started off slow. He's hoping for a strong finish and a Spring Fling big check. Little over 1 second handicap going to the door car. The 2014 Race Tech going to try to track him down. Big Vin getting serious. A little puff of smoke, little womp womp, and that's 2 rounds in a row. Big Vin's 00 and takes 00 with a lot of throttle womping down there. Big Vin 003 taking 008 to go 1 over against a door car. Jason Shade was 034 and that was all she wrote. It's going to bring up Darryl Contreras and Logan War. 2 dragsters, and a little bit on the slower side on the dial-ins for a dragster, 500 and 504, but this is bracket racing. As long as you run what you put on your dial-in board, and turn on the wind light, that's all that counts. And the crowd, look at that. You get into the late rounds of the Spring Fling, and the crew people, crew guys and gals start getting all pumped up. Logan War, 014, 507 on a 501. As Darryl Contreras turns it red. So that was 3 pairs, and this is the pair I'm really interested to see. Johnny Bracket Racer Izell and Brian Cerruti. Now Cerruti's going off the bottom. As I said earlier, one of the best bottom bowlers in the country, and Johnny Bracket Racer, one of the best top bowlers in the country. Cerruti's off. Whoa! Cerruti has 8 thou. Can he hold on to it? He does. How about Brian Cerruti, 029, dead on with a 0 to take out Johnny Bracket Racer. Johnny was 037, 5 flat on a 499, and Cerruti in a door car moves on. Wow.
Booyah! 2-door cars. Yay! Going on to round number 8. Oh, yeah. Sorry, door car guy here. Can't help myself. I love that. What I really like is the guys that own both, because they have to, like, you know, be door car guys at one time and then, you know, dragster guys another time, and, you know, all those things. So it's awesome. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yes, Rudy takes it. That's awesome. This is going to be good. Round number 8. Semi-final. Okay, and the little blue car is like a Rambler. I mean, it looks like a Chevy 2 at first. I know somebody yesterday called it a Chevy 2 or day before, and I was like, that isn't a Chevy 2. That's a Rambler, I believe. And it's awesome. It looks so cool with the modern Pro Stock scoop on it, which I normally don't like on old cars. But that thing is rad. And I think the rust is real, which makes me so happy. But I'm not sure. But I dig it. Like, seriously, it's rad. So, yeah. AJ, it's all about the blown altereds. Yes, it is all about the kids is what it's all about. I want a license in AJ and Ron Thomas's blown altered. And the guy that AJ got his current dragster from, Cameron Foray, told me that I can license in his current dragster, which would be cool too. Although I am sure I could license in AJ's as well. But it'll be fun. I am looking forward to that. Oh, another car already up. What's going on here? This is the door cars. I'm confused. Maybe these guys weren't ready, I guess. They must not have been ready. So this is, what's this Julio on the Super Stalker, like, or the Comp Eliminator, you know, Cobalt, which I love. And then the black Corvette. So I don't think this is round 8 yet. I think this is still a round 7 car. Let's find out. I'm going to change it back to 7. And then let's see what the bosses say.
Oh, thank you, guys. It's an honor. And again, thank you, racers. That was all you. That was all Spring Fling racers. And I believe, who came up with the idea? Was that Mike Eames?
Yeah, it was
You, Eames?
We were talking about being red and dead, and Mike said, why don't we have them pay into it?
Yeah.
They'd have to pay a fine, and I said, well, we'll make it a swear jar. And then a couple of minutes later, we're like, well, why don't we make a swear jar and donate that to charity? So, yeah, Mike came up with the pay a fine, and we put swear jar on the jar, and there it went.
Awesome stuff, racers. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Rich Trimmer, Races for Christ. We are very fortunate to have you here every year at the Spring Fling. Hope to see you next year again.
So down to the final 2 here in round number 7. This is the auto meter round, a $500 gift certificate on the line for the best losing package. But more importantly, what's on the line is advancement into the quarterfinals of the 30K race here at the final day of the Spring Fling Million. Ryan McClanahan and Ted Kellner, a couple of big-time Division 7 players. Ted coming down out of the San Jose area up at the North Bay, and for Ryan McClanahan, south of the Bay, up there near San Francisco, and Ryan McClanahan coming down from San Bernardino, 551 to a 478. As McClanahan and his Super Stalker that he's found just oodles and oodles of success in that car, and Ted Kellner, of course, doing the same thing, proving as Don Mazier did the other night, the top sportsman racers can't brag it. Kellner waits just a couple of seconds, puts on that bottom half. 19 thousandths was the difference between the two in reaction time, and Ryan McClanahan trip, zip, take an 8th foul at the far end of the racetrack to win that one. And then go one above, puts up a 10-pack, and locks Kellner out with his 19th thou reaction time.
Trip, zip, the round of 10. You know what that means. We'll check the stat sheets, but trip, zip, if he hasn't had a bye before, that's going to be good to get it.
I think that'll lock it.
Yeah, that will do it, but we'll check the stat sheets just to be sure. And now we'll put a wrap on round number 7, odometer round number 7. The best losing package that round, a $500 gift cert.
Hey, and just because Chad was kind of talking, so that those following along, because I know that a lot of our folks on the chat boards have also been very interested in the swear jar and wanted to know how it was going. Just so you guys know, we did just present Team RFC with the balance of the swear jar, and Rich Trimmer came up here and accepted from the racers, those that were racing at the Spring Fling, and again, this is just for you guys watching online, $1,326 went into the swear jar, so apparently there was a plethora of profanity that we used out here this weekend, and we are going to roll it over into Bristol and Galat, where I know for a fact that there is just as much profanity used there. It's just a matter of whether they'll own up to it or not. Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, $1,326 is what we were able to grab up in the swear jar. Just very, very cool. So glad to hand that over to Team RFC. We've got a couple of minutes. Mike, it's really cool to see that thing kind of come to fruition.
Yeah, you know what? The whole thing about it started really as a smart aleck comment.
Yeah.
Because it started with, I had seen so many people going red and dead on.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, you should have to bring the announcers $1 for every time you do it. And then you threw out, well, no, wait a minute, so that's, yeah, for it to end up morphing into that, that's just A+.
That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, unique ideas in this room kind of seem to combine.
Okay, guys, I'm back. So yeah, I'm super excited that Ryan McClanahan is in still. Honestly, that dude until August was my neighbor. Not my next door neighbor, but he lived 2 blocks the short way directly down the hill from me. And so we were always watching him seeing him go to the races, and he was always seeing us driving around in Daphne's wagon, which was just like his father's, which we found and highlighted it on a deal on Bang Shift. And I went over to his house and said, "Hey, I don't know if you know, but your dad's car's been found, and all this." And then he said, "Yeah, we're not going to do anything with it." I said, "You're not going to buy it?" And he said, "No." And then a few weeks later, they actually bought it, and apparently they're restoring it or have restored it or what have you. I haven't kept up, but yeah, it's very cool. So super nice family. His wife's a really nice lady too. She and I were at a city council meeting griping to people together, and they're just a really cool racing family, and they live in Southern California. Say that again, Peter. Hold on, I gotta send a text. Okay, I'm sending Nate a message to see what Peter is saying. So anyway, the McClanahans, they live in SoCal, still really near me. I live a mile away from them now, but very cool family, and I love that car. It spins to like 11 jillion RPM, and it leaves so badass, all wheels up. And I like the new paint scheme that's on it, now compared to their old blue paint schemes, which I really like. Don't get me wrong, the Private Ryan stuff, but it's a really cool car. So it's neat to see him going rounds here at Las Vegas, which is sort of a local track for them. We're about 3.5 hours. I'm gonna guess because they've. Oh, here's the ladder. Hold on.
$30,000 champion, another big check.
Yeah, it was great. So we got Marco, won on Wednesday. Some guy named Lou Bagaki won on Thursday. Randall Reed wins last night. And we have 5 good drivers waiting to see who's going to get the big check and the trophy here in 3 more rounds of racing.
So Mr. Salt Lake City, Mike, September, when's your big race?
Well, so we have our...
You better not put it on September 18th because that's our Spring Fling and Fall Fling in Bristol.
Nope, it is the week before. It is the 14th to the 16th.
They can piggyback each other.
Correct.
Attaboy.
Our divisional is the week before Indy. Our double divisional is the week before Indy, and then 3 weeks later is our big money bracket race, which is one of the final races in the history of our facility, so by that time it's probably going to be pretty emotional for everybody. But
especially for you.
Yeah. It's
you put your heart and soul into that track.
Yeah, it'll be that month of September will be pretty tough.
So it's closing down.
Yeah,
that's it. Finito.
September 29th. That's it.
Wow. And what's the plan with the land and the facility?
So our facility, they sold. We sold our ownership group, sold basically 2/3 of our property to a development group that was going on around us for a pretty substantial sum of money. And to be honest, even though I love racing, I've been around it all my life, I would have done the exact same thing. So I can't be mad at our ownership group for selling it.
Yeah.
Because I would have done it too. At the time when we sold it, we signed a 5-year operating lease that goes through the end of this year. And so that lease is coming to an end, and we couldn't get it extended because the people who bought the property want to capitalize on their investment, and you can't be mad at them for that either. So
nope.
The property values in Salt Lake are just absolutely skyrocketing, and the price of dirt is so expensive. We looked and looked and looked and really couldn't find anything reasonable to build another facility. So September 29th is our final event.
So with that, I believe it's going to be a pretty historical event to attend. So I expect you to have a pretty big car count there.
Yeah, I would hope so. And then it's also affiliated with our big Jack car race, so the stands will be absolutely jam-packed. There'll be 8,000, 9,000 people there for bracket race. So the guys will be racing in front of a lot of people for a pretty good paycheck. I mean, nothing like the money that we got down here, but it should be a good weekend. All right, Peter Biondo, I have the ladder. So, Gary Williams and Brian Cerruti. Gary Williams with lane choice. Oh, is that the only one? Yeah. Gary Williams and Brian Cerruti with G-Dub with lane choice. Vinny Domino and Logan War with Vinny Domino with lane choice. And that Ryan McClanahan kid who went trip zip with the single. So McClanahan in the door car. Gary Williams with the dragster, Brian Cerruti, the bottom bulber, and then the 2 lawn darts of Vinny Domino and Logan War. So 2 door cars are left, 3 dragsters, 1 bottom bulber, and a pretty good group of 5 individuals that will be left, and then we go to 3, and then we'll crown a $30,000 champion. So it has been a few minutes, and it is really that point of the night where we fill them and chill them, so I hope my 5 remaining competitors are doing exactly that. Yeah, so my 5 remaining competitors, we are at that point. Fill them, chill them, charge them, and get them headed up this direction with our 5 cars. So once again, Ryan McClanahan, you do have the bye. Vinny Domino and Logan War. And Gary Williams and Brian Cerruti. Gary Williams has lane choice, Vinny Domino has lane choice, and Ryan McClanahan can take whatever lane he would like. So let's get my 5 cars rolling back up to the back of the staging lanes, please.
Chad, how's the live feed going, Chad? Are you keeping them entertained? Having a good time? A little bit nicer than the other night, huh? I tell you what, you are a soldier for sitting up there in the scissor lift for 18 hours the other night. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Peter Biondo. I appreciate it. And you are a champion yourself. I know you guys work so hard on these 3 Spring Fling events. And I know how hard it is throughout the year, but you guys are ass kickers and it's rad and you put on a great event.
Hey,
I didn't know you were a Derek Jeter fan.
well, he just is because he put the number 2 on the side.
Oh, okay. All right. Number 2, top dragster last year. Thanks for coming.
Well, the points don't roll out very well for me to go there.
So really, Chad, all joking aside, hats off to you, buddy. You have really done a great job. Great live feed this year.
Since I won Phoenix.
I think that Peter and Kyle... I'm sorry, I'm trying to listen to Peter too. This is like, we need radios back and forth. But yeah, Peter and Kyle are awesome. They do a great job. They couldn't put this on without great support from the racers. So thank you to all the racers that came out here this weekend, or this week, I should say. Tonight is the final night. It's FTI Saturday, right there, FTI. Also, thanks to Jegs and Hoosier. Hoosier's actually on property, which is way cool. Jegs and Hoosier are sponsors of the event, and they stepped up to be the presenting sponsors for having us here this week. And also want to thank all of our regular Bang Shift sponsors who support us throughout the year. And without them, we wouldn't be here or anywhere else. So big thanks to Autometer, Mark Williams, Aeromotive, the fine folks over at Holly and Molly and Race Pack. We really do appreciate all of the support, and thank you to all of you guys for tuning in. Please make sure that you go out on social media and thank all of our live broadcast sponsors. Go out there, tag them, thank them, go to their Facebook pages, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and talk about them. We really do appreciate it. Also, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and like it. There will be some other cool stuff that's going on this year besides other live broadcasts. There also will be some other things. I'm doing my own new YouTube channel very soon, and some of those things will also be on the Bang Shift YouTube channel, so you'll be able to interact with both of those, which is going to be cool. And we're really looking forward to that. SWPM fan, dude, thank you so much. You just said the BS feed, meaning Bang Shift feed, makes you feel like you're sitting in the stands, unlike other feeds. I'm a huge fan of some of the other feeds. I am not a fan of some of the other ones as well, but like Mark Walters and the guys at Motor Mania do an amazing job, and I really love them. And they have a great crew and put on an amazing production. And they keep bringing you free live drag racing, which is amazing and so awesome, because of great sponsors and support. We've always been this, right? And quite frankly, we are going to be doing some multiple camera stuff. I know we've said that for years, and we've tried, and we haven't liked it, and it just hasn't felt right. I have some new stuff we're going to test so that it still feels like this. But that's what we like, okay? And quite frankly, if an event wants something fancier, if they want to pay for something fancier, we'll do it, but we really would prefer it to be this cool, intimate feeling so that you get to interact with me directly. And again, you can do that on the Bang Shift live chat, which is on bangshift.com if you watch there instead of on YouTube. So come on down, hang out with us, ask questions. I'll answer anything. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know the answer 99% of the time. The other 1%, I'll lie right to you. You know the rule. You lie and I'll swear to it. So we really do appreciate it. Also want to mention, many people have commented on the fact that Cerruti got all of his junk stolen last year, right? His whole trailer, the car, the truck, everything, which totally sucks, okay? Completely sucks. And there is nothing worse than thieves. And as a guy who's had his truck stolen, had it broken into and all the junk stolen out of it, I can tell you firsthand, it is just, there's nothing worse. We have some very good friends who recently had a race truck stolen, and it absolutely is the worst. But thank you to all of you guys, because when it happened, we posted it up on our Facebook page to all 300 and whatever jillion of you. And we spread the word everywhere, and it wasn't just us by any stretch. Like, every single person in the drag racing community spread the word, and he got all of his stuff back and is here racing that car, which is really, really cool. So it shows the power, the good power of social media, which quite frankly is the limited part of it because most of it just blows. But very, very cool. Thank you very much for helping. I know that he appreciates it. And one little tech tip, and nobody does this, and you're stupid if you don't. If you buy a new enclosed trailer or you currently own an enclosed trailer, get on the roof and put something on the roof. Paint something on the roof, okay? A number, a giant, easily recognizable symbol. It doesn't matter. It can be a phallic symbol as long as the guy in the helicopter will look down and go, wow, that's a penis on the roof of a trailer. And supposedly the stolen one has a penis on the roof. That's what you need to happen. In a sea of white boxes going down freeways all over the country, nobody's ever going to spot yours if it doesn't have some identifiable marking on it. The police will tell you, put something on the top of it, put a GPS tracker in it. It isn't expensive, and it's worth doing because all of your stuff is in there and it costs $1 jillion. So paint a number or a symbol or something on the roof of your trailer and install a GPS tracker so that when somebody drives off with it, you pull out your phone, find where it is, get to them, beat them to within an inch of their lives, then call the police and then go, oh my God, look, here's my car. And you never were there. Oh, wait. I'm not a lawyer. You should not use that excuse. Yes, Mark Fattori, like you said, a GPS tracking device, which is so easy to hide in a trailer. It's completely stupid how easy it is. And in fact, most of the GPS device services and what have you are like a couple dollars more to do multiple vehicles. So the truth is, like, put one in your race car, put one in your trailer. Even if they found the one in the trailer, then the one in the race car, which is in the trailer, will be working, et cetera, et cetera. So just go with that. Dave Hill, you are a smart guy. And yes, definitely paint something on the roof. It is a really, really smart deal. There you go. Wise words from chat. They're free. And worth only slightly more than that. You get what you pay for here. Let's see. Yes, Mark Vittori says park in well-lit areas at hotels. Also be creative. Like, don't do the easy parking spot, like where you pull straight through and all that stuff. Like, dude, jackknife that thing into a couple of spots to where it's a royal pain to get at it. And then it's way harder to steal as well, so. I'm glad that you guys are laughing. I appreciate it for sure. Let's see what they're doing in the tower. Hold on one second. They don't know we're spying on them. Looks like Mike Eames is either watching TV and yelling at it, or actually, let's do this. Caption, what was Mike Eames just doing with the screen in front of him? Let's see what you come up with in the Bang Shift chat. RTC in the house! Dude! I haven't seen RTC in so long. Dude, seriously. Like, so excited right now. I have all my boys, dude. The Dean's List. So many of you here. Not everybody, though. Verm wasn't here and stuff. And I've missed all of you so much. So we need to... this year we need to get the family all back together, okay? And then we need to officially do something with the Dean's List. Obviously, I had to put my life on hold for a while, but you guys are deserving of the Dean's List. Yes, the beardometer is stagnant today. It was not the other day. Yes, you will, Dave Hill. I'll be at Denton again this year for sure. I love that place. AKA North Star Dragway. Gene Nicodemus runs a great facility there. I used to hate that drag strip. When I moved to Texas, I hated that drag strip. Never would run there. When Gene fixed it, then later bought it, it became a great facility and I love it. No question. Now the worst drag strip in the country is Amarillo Dragway, although I was just told a couple days ago they completely repaved it. So it may not be as bad anymore. Apparently they put some money into it, so I'm kind of excited. Mark Fattori says his moped got ripped off at the staging lanes at night under fire. I'll tell you, I had a generator that was a rental stolen at Bowling Green, Kentucky, as well as numerous other things. I love Bowling Green. We've done so much stuff at Bowling Green. I've announced there's so much. Brock and the entire crew there are awesome, right? It is technically one of our home tracks. McTaggart lives there. Holly is there. Like, my brothers from another mothers are there. I love that place. But the thievinest bastards on earth are at Bowling Green, Kentucky. I have had more junk stolen at that racetrack than anywhere else combined. And it pains me. It broke my heart when they stole the generator. It cost me like $1,000 to replace a rental generator. It was horrible. Yeah, Dave Hill, Kennedale is where Daphne and her parents still live in Kennedale. Daryl Irwin and Todd Irwin. You know them. Daryl is her dad, and Todd is her brother. And so, yeah, I met them all because I bought a motor from Daryl. Yes, I heard that Funny Car Chaos was coming to Amarillo in June. Stephanie Baker, which is awesome. Hello, Stephanie Baker, by the way. And I was just there the other day talking to Mark and Bill and Linda and Abby Warwick, who are my kids' grandparents. It's a convoluted deal. They're Daphne's ex-in-laws, and they are very awesome, wonderful people that I love. And we visit them whenever we can, and hopefully a lot more this year since we're going to be moving back to Texas. But they live in Amarillo and have an amazing car collection and a whole bunch of stuff. And I was just talking to Mark and Bill about the fact that they're doing all this cool stuff there at Amarillo Dragway this year. So, dude, here's Cerruti. We got cars. Yay! Spring Fling Million. It's FTI Saturday. And it's time for round number 8, which I believe is technically the semifinals, I think. I don't know. I'm not going to say that yet. But boom, we're here. Spring Fling Million. Thanks to Jags and Hoosier, as well as, FTI and Race Pack, Holly, Molly, Aeromotive, Fuel Systems, Autometer, and Mark Williams, and all of you for tuning in.
Woo! Pretty tasty. Once again, Cerruti, one of the best off the bottom in the entire country. Once again, he faces off against G-Dub, one of the best off the top in the entire country. It is a classic bottom bulb versus top bulb, talent versus talent, door car versus dragster matchup.
So Gary Williams over there in the summit lane, 508 is the dial-in. Cerruti, 650, so almost a full tree will be the head start. Cerruti's car has been outstanding all day today. Gary Williams has also been on a roll.
So you have to think Cerruti's going to go after the tree here off the bottom. I mean, a typical bottom bulb reaction time, a good bottom bulb reaction time,
is 15,
right. And last round he was 27. This round he was not 27. He was better. Williams is good. Cerruti's a little better. And how about it, Mike? Brian Cerruti,
10-pack.
Off the bottom.
007, 650 with the 3 on the 650. Gary Williams was 10 green, taking 8 foul at the stripe, breaking out by 8 foul. Brian Cerruti is a bad dude. So Cerruti is 007 on the reaction time. Now we have to check who's had buys, who hasn't had buys, and all that stuff, but that 007 number is relatively important there for Cerruti, as Logan Warren, Big Ben, Vinny Domino there, Peter.
And credit where credit's due for G-Dub. He was 10. He was 10 and took 8 for the L. Oh, we got the Wink on the starting line. All right, pulling up Vinny Domino, and Sally's out there as well. So Vinny Domino right lane, Logan War on the left side. Second foul to work with. Win light, Big Vin, and Wink goes wild. Winky, calm down, Winky. It's going to be all right. Winky, calm down, my friend. Look like he's stressing out there. Calm down, Winky. Anyway, Vinny Domino, 027, dead on with the 4. Logan War was 034, got that first by 16 foul to break out 19 foul. So Vinny had him end to end. So it's going to be Cerruti, it's going to be Vinny, and we'll see who the third.
Ryan McClanahan.
McClanahan with the bye, and then we'll see who has the bye at 3.
Well, Vinny was 27.
Correct.
Cerruti was 007.
But we do have to look at who had previous
buys. Exactly.
Yep. So Big Vin to the round of 3. All right, so Ryan McClanahan in the Super Stocker / bracket car / 2 weeks ago went off the bottom bulb / today he's going off the top bulb. The beautiful 2008 Cobalt, that had to be in the running for best appearing.
Yeah, Ryan, for a long time that car was all blue and it had Saving Private Ryan there on the side, and they redid the car, I believe it was last year, and debuted at the Winter Nationals, and that thing was just absolutely amazing. And it looked so great in the sun. Wow. Ryan on top of the thing. 004, one above there for Ryan. So
McClanahan 004, 551, looking good down to 3. And Mike, if we did the math right, which we did, because there's only, it's 3. It's hard not to figure it out right with 3. We checked the previous buys, and
Brian Cerruti in the bottom bulb, going 007, has the semifinal single and will run for the 30K, just like he did last year on Saturday here at the Fling when he took on Marco Peravaleris in that final round.
Yep, so we have 2 door cars and a dragster left. It's going to be Cerruti on the bye. It's going to be McClanahan with lane choice over Big Vinny Domino. This is going to get, it's been a good day, but I'm really excited about the last 3. A bottom bulber, beautiful Camaro, a super stock Camaro who just plugged the delay box in this week to run the Fling. And then you got Big Vin, who has won multiple track championships at New Media Dragway and also multiple division championships, bracket finals, took his dragster out west many times, has a boatload of talent, and I'm looking forward to this. We have the front row seat.
Should be a great semifinal, and in all the scheme of things, we don't root for anybody. It would be relatively interesting just in this world of bracket racing where you got to be in. So it would be relatively interesting just in today's day and age with you have to have an open cockpit roadster or a dragster or anything. It would be interesting to have 2 door cars in the final.
Especially a bottom bulb door car and a super stocker.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling Big Vin is not feeling that.
No, he's like, that's a horrible idea.
And Big Vin started off soft. He started off a little soft. His flight was delayed due to inclement weather and got here in the middle of the night, I think 3 a.m., was a little bit tired and lethargic and started off the week slow, but what did I tell you early in the week? I said, if he catches fire, watch out.
Yeah, because a couple days ago, he was early off and you were like, dude, Big Ben, when he finds it, he finds it. And he's found it today.
Yep. So we're going to just double check everything just to, so by reaction time, McClanahan has the bye, but we want to just double check to make sure he hasn't had a bye earlier. Not to my recollection, but it's been a long day, so let's check the data sheets.
It's been along like 5 days. All right, so you fly home tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
To see your lovely children. So you and Emily fly home tomorrow, see your lovely children. And then you get a couple of days. And then you go right down to Galat to do it again down there for 350 of your closest friends.
That's right. Looking forward to Galat Motorsports Park. Little track that was totally renovated. I don't know if you know the story of that. Totally renovated a couple of years ago. It was called Dunn Benson, and they dumped a boatload of money into it. They changed the name to Galat Motorsports Park. Do you have any idea what Galat stands for?
Get a load of that.
It does. Get a load of this. I think.
Get a load of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
But so Kyle and I, when we wanted to expand to a third Fling, we traveled to a few different tracks, and we just fell in love with the track, fell in love with the people, the staff, and year one, whenever you go into a new track, there's always the unknowns, and there's always
Okay, Peter and them are talking, and I am enjoying trying to listen, but where I'm sitting, it's horrible. Nate and I are sitting here sending text messages to each other saying we need radios so that they could hear me on a radio and like play it on the mic and vice versa, so that way you guys could hear all the interaction. It's crazy because I'm set up between lanes 3 and 4 at the drag strip, which sounds funny to say 3 and 4 at the drag strip, but I am. So all the speakers aim away from me, and the ones over here just go out into nothing, so it's fine. But the ones over there echo off of the grandstand, so there's this like negative thing, and I can only hear part of what they say, and I can't understand, and so they're trying to talk to me. And back in the day when I was on that side of the speakers and the speakers were blasting at me, I could understand, and then we could communicate back and forth with hand signals and smoke signals and, gestures, but now I can't. I can't understand what the hell they're saying. So it drives me insane because I want to know. But it's okay. I'm totally pulling for Ryan as well, although Cerruti's awesome. Like, both of them, I got no issue. I would love to see door cars all in the final. It would be really cool. And I think that, I don't know. Ryan is on. Did you just see that last run? Went 004, I believe was the light, and he was, 1,500ths over. And honestly, based on when I heard him lift off the throttle, I'm guessing he was lifting a little early. The speed of sound is pretty slow. So it always sounds like guys drive way past the finish line because it takes forever for the noise to get to you. That's one way you can tell when a guy shuts off early. So typically guys will do time trials and they lift at 1,000 feet, right? Because they can lift at 1,000 feet and they know based on all their other runs what it's going to run out the back door. Okay. This run sounded like he lifted right at the 8th mile, which I'm going to say means he probably lifted at the mile-an-hour cone before the 8th mile, which is 600 feet instead of 660 feet. So I'm going to say he was right on the dial. So, and Ryan is no stranger to winning stuff, which is why he was an NHRA Superstock National Champion before. So, he's kind of a badass. They have a fling in Gallet and a fling in... the Gallet one's the new one. Go to bracketraces.com and you can see all of them. SWPM fan, it's funny you say that because I actually said earlier, I was like, dude, I need some shade. I really could set up there, but I think it might be too high up in the shade up there. But because of all the grandstands and stuff, I might be able to do like an easy up and strap that bastard down good enough and do it from the grandstand over there, which also means then all the people that yell and scream at me from the grandstands could come hang out with me, which would be awesome on the broadcast. It'd make it even more like you were sitting in the grandstands. Yeah. Be cool. Yeah, and you're right. Cerruti was dead on, the dial with a 007 green. So, the two of them are unstoppable at this point, which will be crazy. We could have the first tie in drag racing history. It'd be awesome. I think it's just super cool. Oh, Bristol. There you go. Bristol and Gallet. So, and Gallet is supposed to be amazingly cool racetrack. I've never been there, actually. It's one of the racetracks I haven't been to. I've been to a lot of racetracks, and that is not one of them. They're talking about something.
I don't believe so. Fletcher was deep in the rounds. I don't think he was too concerned with the office staff got cut of. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'm not going to say who his wife picked, but his wife did not pick right. Dan Fletcher.
Maybe that's who's dig back at her now, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, she picked LaBousse, yeah.
Yeah.
So Donna Fletcher is married, obviously, to Dan Fletcher, and then Calcutta picks Johnny LaBousse. Nice. Very nice, Donna.
And then she got mad.
Nice to have faith in the multi-time world champion.
And then she got mad like when Nathan would go to scratch off her name before LaBousse got beat.
Yeah, no, Dan definitely married over his head, especially after this year, watching Donna work side by side with Emily at the Fling.
100%.
Without a doubt. You know, Dan, I mean, Dan's a great guy, a great racer and everything. He could get a little cranky at times, just, you know, maybe once in a blue moon. And Donna has to put on a happy face, but I tell you what, we really are lucky to have a great staff here at the Fling, and Donna was a lot of help this year. So drivers, the 3 left, you could start heading this way. It's going to be McClanahan with the bye, and, no, I'm sorry, Cerruti with the bye, and McClanahan with lane choice over Domino. Cerruti, bottom Bolberg with the bye, and McClanahan with lane choice over Big Van.
You missed it. I was trying to get the camera around in time, but he was all like this. He was going to run into the back of the scissor lift. You got to love Jeff Foster. I knew he was up to something because he went down on a golf cart with a guy, and then the guy came back without him, and I was like, So that's the track scraper, I believe. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to the nose of it, but typically that's what they use those for, the Bobcat style little tractors. They put a big blade on them and they go and scrape the rubber off the racetrack with the torch. Some of them actually have the torch heads already mounted to them, which is cool. Then one guy can use them. Like Gene Nicodermus has his own that he made that's little bitty, and it's rad. And it's totally custom, and it goes and scrapes the track all by himself. Like, really, really cool.
Yeah, we're going to do this all over again. Spring Fling, back a lot. What? Wow.
No, Mark Vittori, I can eat ice cream at Norwalk. Just can't eat a lot of ice cream at Norwalk. You know, it's a treat. You got to have a treat. Little kids are totally playing in the grandstands and having a great time. It's awesome. This is a super family cool event too. Like a bunch of families are here for this race, which is really fun. And it's one of those deals too where you know, they got the big racer appreciation party, which is a party, let me tell you. Last night I enjoyed a couple of adult beverages with some guys and whatever was left in the bottle of tequila, which was neat. And just had a great time. It's a very cool deal. Right after we did all the award stuff, I packed everything up, and all the staff was over there. Everybody else was leaving, and all the staff was there, and they're like, "You got to get your ass over here." So I did, and we hung out for a little bit, and it was Kyle's birthday, so they had cake and everything too, and it was very cool. So super good guys. Okay, it's Floyd is talking about the bye runs, and it's too bad you can't get 2 of them in a row or whatever. But I got to tell you, this is one of those races too where Peter and Kyle have done something interesting compared to, you know, all the heads-up drag racing, in that the ladder is determined by reaction time. So it's really interesting because every round Peter will get up on the mic and he goes, "Okay, the ladder is done. Everybody come look at it. There's some interesting pairings." Well, you know, normally if you're doing a, you know, a sportsman ladder or a pro ladder, then it, you know, number 1 race is number 16 and all those deals, right? And then, you know, it just goes through the whole ladder based on wins and losses. Because this is all done on reaction time, it means that 2 guys, you know, that normally at an NHRA national event might try and qualify away from each other so they can be on opposite sides of the ladder and not have to face each other until the final or something. Those guys don't get to do that anymore, right? Because they don't want to play a game with the reaction time or you're never going to make it to the next round. And for those of you at home that think, oh, well, how do they play the game to do qualifying? Let me explain to you that NHRA Sportsman Drag Racing is made up of 3 different people. It's made up of the guys that have nothing but money and time and want to be number 1 qualifier, but very, very, very rarely ever win a race, because the real racers, the professional sportsman racers like Fletcher and Bagacki and all those guys, they never try and qualify at the top if they're running a super stock or a stock eliminator car. those guys are always qualifying in the 20s, 30s, 40s, depending on the field, right? They do their research and they know where they want to be so that they're going to be set if they come up against another class carb, which makes it a heads-up race, et cetera, et cetera. So qualifying is very critical, but you do not want to be at the top, and that is where you find the rich guys who just basically are doing the member measuring competition to see who can run the farthest under and therefore ruin the index and everything for everybody else. So the third kind of guy is the normal class racer, the guy that doesn't have the money to qualify number one or the desire because he's smarter than that, and who also doesn't do anything more than his division worth of national events every year or what have you, right? Not going for a national championship, just going in his division and having a great time in racing and winning sometimes. But those guys are qualified all over the place because they go out there and they run their number, and it's smart. It's really fun to see how those guys race in an event like this, right? Because there are a lot of sportsman drag racers that are professional sportsman drag racers. That's all they do is big money bracket races to earn their living. And they can earn a fine living if they're good enough at it. But it's really cool to see, class racers come out. And you heard Peter describing the Cobalt of Ryan McClanahan. And he's talking about it. He said, look, it's a super stocker. It's a super pro car. It's a pro car. It's got everything that he needs it to have, or the ability to have everything he needs it to have to race it in brackets and do anything and everything with it. Well, to me, that's the smart way to build a car, right? The cost difference in setting it up so that you can, easily plug in a delay box or put a throttle stop on it if you so chose, or whatever it is, really is not that big a deal. And it's not a big deal to set it up in a way that it's going to cause you trouble in a class that doesn't allow those components, right? You just remove them and race, like normal. Those are the cool things to me because you get a lot more use out of your race car. And I can tell you that Ryan and them, they've got the toter home and a big stacker because they're hauling multiple race cars and they do this. This is their thing, right? That and used to be Christmas decorations, but that's a whole nother story. But they go out and they have a great time and they race and it's a family affair and it's fun and it's all those things. And so being able to go do it more often because you've got a car that can compete in all kinds of things, to me, makes it just a cool deal. Now, for a guy who doesn't have the money, to race at that level, I also look at, if I'm building a car, I want to be able to do multiple things with it, right? So like right now I have my S10 Blazer project, which you guys have heard about, but nobody's seen yet because obviously it's been on the back burner for the last year and a half. The S10 is a daily driver deal. It's going to run on a drag radial. I'll be able to go and do anything I want to with it, really. I mean, it's not going to be a, radial versus the world car or anything like that. It's not that level of car, but I'm building it so I can do several different things with it. And that's what I think all of us normal people need to do. That's what we have to have in order to, go enjoy our cars as much as we possibly can. RTC's on there saying, oh, open trailer to the front. I've never owned an enclosed trailer. I'm hoping that in the next year that changes for a couple of reasons. But I'm an open trailer guy. I've owned 2 open trailers in my entire life. One was a hand-me-down from my dad, and that was Jungle Jim's open trailer that hauled his funny cars on it, by the way, beforehand. And then I bought my Carson wood-decked open car hauler. It's an extra wide, 16-footer or whatever. And I bought that, and my dad won at the exact same time. We bought 2 of them. And, great trailer. It's done me well. I'm actually just now getting ready to... I've replaced the wood on it a couple times. I bought it in 1997. I'm getting ready to sand the thing down a little bit, do a rattle can rebuild on it. I fixed the fenders up. I got all new lighting that we're putting on it. I mounted a winch to it. Never had a winch on it before. Got big, giant, awesome aluminum ramps for it that are really cool. And so we're going to doll this thing up a little bit. But that's the trailer I have, and I like it. And if you didn't see this on Bang Shift, you have to go on Bang Shift and answer this. I put up a question of the day a couple of weekends ago, and it said, look, if the only way to drive your dream race car, using the example of a funny car, was to haul it to the races on an open trailer, would you, or would you be embarrassed to do so you wouldn't race the car? Like if you could only afford to either run the funny car or you could have an enclosed trailer but not run your dream car, which would you do? And I said I would haul a funny car in an open trailer like right now. In fact, even if I owned a big rig, I would probably haul it in just to be the intimidator with that stuff because I like to play the game, you know. So I think it would be fun. But open trailer, enclosed trailer, gooseneck, whatever, stacker, all those things. I mean, my father-in-law has a giant Peterbilt toter, like 40-something foot long with a big stacker trailer and all that stuff. And I love it, and I dream of having that kind of thing someday. But in the meantime, I have a Suburban, and I have a dually, and I have an open trailer. And the dually is going to get all slammed and trick and all that, which is why I'm hoping that I can get a gooseneck trailer then for it. But I may do an open gooseneck trailer that'll haul 2 or 3 cars. It'd be cool. Then I can haul multiple things to the races. Tow bar. Oh yeah, barn, dude. My dad had towing hubs for the rear of his Camaro that you unbolted the wheel and tire, bolted a hub to the end of the axle that was a freewheeling hub, then bolted the wheels back on, and then tow barred, flat towed it with the tow bar. It was awesome. In tow and shoe polish on the rear window. All in, Craig Garcia. It's funny, you know, we're sitting here talking about trailers. So my son Cole is 17 years old, okay, and he has a 2005 GMC Sierra pickup truck that his grandparents gave him that has like a bunch of body color accents on it, and it's lowered like 4 or 6. It has the factory steely wheels on it, but with like big and littles. It's a great little truck. He autocrosses it and stuff because it's only got a 4.3. It makes like 4 horsepower. But I told him, I said, dude, you have a truck and it doesn't have a trailer hitch on it. And you have a truck, it needs a trailer hitch. And I said, you can either put a hidden hitch behind the, you know, bumper and all that, or I'll just call up U-Haul and make you an appointment and they'll put a trailer hitch on it. So they put a trailer hitch on it, and we were moving out of the shop to the house. And so I told him to hook up the trailer, dude, you're hauling some junk on the trailer. And he's like, oh my God, this thing's so wide. And I said, dude, your truck could fit on it, so it's got to be wider than the truck. And he drove through town. He's done real good with the trailer. We have a driveway that's really steep, and you go up and around the corner of the house and through a gate to the back, to the shop in the back. And it the first time took him 100 turns to make it. But the second time took him 50, and the third time took him 25, and now he can make it up there in a totally reasonable time. He doesn't do it in a one shot like I do, but he does very good backing up a trailer, so it's pretty cool. And I told him he has a short bed standard cab, you know, pickup. It's the world's greatest thing to back a trailer up with, because when the trailer starts going wonky, you can get it to move back real quick with the truck, you know. So not like the dually, which you got to plan like 4 days ahead of time for. So, you know, it's pretty cool. SWPM fan. Yeah, the reason we didn't do the pit stuff this year wasn't because I didn't have help. It was actually because YouTube, it makes it difficult to do, like we normally just do it with the phone because it makes it so easy. But that doesn't work on YouTube. You can't go live to an event like this from your phone. You go to this different kind of instant live now thing that is not the same. So we're working on that, so it'll be cool. Dustin Vassar, how do I know Todd and Daryl? My wife Daphne is Todd's sister and Daryl's daughter, so they are my in-laws. So Daryl and Audrey and Todd are my in-laws. We just were with them last week, so in Texas. So yes, and we are moving back to Texas later this year. Todd Irwin. AJ, it took you 3 turns when we moved the shop. I don't like you, AJ. It took me 1 every time. 1. Remember the rule. I lie, you swear to it. Don't mess with me, dude. Are we in round 8 now? Or are we in did I change it? I'm sending a message to find out. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Ron Butt's talking about almost losing a trailer. I actually did lose my open trailer. My open trailer came off the truck on the freeway when the hitch pin failed. And luckily it was the middle of the night. I was going to save a guy who broke down, and it left the truck. The chain broke. It rode the center divider like a skateboarder grinding a rail, and then came to a stop. And amazingly, nobody died. And I seriously don't know how. Like, I thought I was going to jail, and I got it all cleaned up with the cops there. And the cops, I'm like, okay, I guess this is when you need my license and registration to write me the biggest ticket I've ever gotten in my life. And the dude's like, you kept anybody from running into that thing in the dark, because it was middle of the night on a major freeway in Southern California. You kept everybody from running into that thing. Then you got it off the guardrail all by yourself. Dude, as far as I'm concerned, this never happened. Have a nice day. It was awesome. By the way, we're racing now. Yes, Dave Hill, send me a message about property, dude. Seriously. Floyd Staggs, let's wrap this thing up. We got 2 more rounds, dude. So here we go. It is time. Spring Fling.
So both drivers dialed, hey, well, let's just say a little bit on the low side compared to their last run. As a temperature, what is it, about 65 degrees out there right now? Nate?
Tell you here in just a second.
It's nice, I know that.
It's beautiful.
It's not 51 and windy like it was 2 nights ago.
No, it is not. You guessed it was what?
65. 75?
Yeah. Wow. I'll bet it's actually floating around 72, 73. Right about there, but it's cooling off nice as we make our way through the rest of tonight's program. And again, it comes down to this. We already know that your bottom bowler, Brian Cerruti, is going to make his way into the final round on Saturday night, just as he did last year on Saturday night. Waited around to race for the big money. He'll take on one of these two, McClanahan, again, the California-based car, the super stocker when he's not got a box in it. And over the past 2 weekends, he's been racing it here at a national event, a divisional event, and then as Pete said, popped the box in just so that he could run this event. It's all culminating right here. Vinny Domino made the trek all the way out here. I know the Dominos are going to be making the trek down to Hidalgo as well. We're in off the trouble. Wow! Pulled it off. Ryan McClanahan breaks out 1,000th of a second.
Are you kidding me?
No. Listen to this. Ryan McClanahan was dialed in at 550. Vinny Domino 473. Leaving the line, McClanahan was 001. Big Vin was 39 thou in the hole at that point in time as he had a 40 bulb. But Vinny runs down to a dead-on 6. Ryan McClanahan takes a 46 thou stripe and needs to give back 1 thou as he's 549 on a 550.
You know what?
Ouch.
Ouch is right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's big buck racing. They win or lose by 1,000. He was 2 thou away from a perfect run. Vinny missed a tree, but when a win like Shawnee in your lane, that's all that counts. And it's going to be either Big Vin or Cerruti for the final big check of the Spring Fling 2018.
And so it'll come down to a dragster and a door card, just like it did last year when we were out here on Saturday night. Cerruti ran the dragster. Now he's opted to go ahead and roll over there on the left-hand side, take a close look at that lane. But I mean,
Off the bottom.
12 green, looking at trying to run down a 650 at dead 5.
I tell you what, he has that car dialed in. He's dialed into the tree. Cerruti, 12 off the bottom, 650 with a 5 on a 650.
He knows what he's doing.
Hey, Timmy.
He knows what he's doing.
There's two of my best friends out there.
Unbelievable.
Wow. So, who will take home the last big check? Well, we know Cerruti has lane choice. We know Cerruti has been killing the tree. We know that Big Vin just missed the tree a little bit, but I'm fairly certain, knowing Big Vin, that is not going to happen again, not in the big money final.
Okay. Dude, Ryan McClanahan, hide the sharp objects. I say that because, I mean, come on, the dude's like been unstoppable. But I guess took a 46 stripe and only broke out by 1,000. Man, that sucks. But how unbelievable is that? That is just wow. That's crazy. It is going to be a good final. Cerruti versus the Dragster. And I don't know what Cerruti's light was. I didn't hear what Peter said on that run, but dead on with a 5. It sounded like that thing revved up real hard at the finish, which would lead me to believe that maybe he has nitrous on the car, and so he was spraying it right there at the, at the finish line. So, yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be really good. So we only have the final. If Cerruti wins this one, hell, even if he doesn't win it, he's in the final again. They need to start calling this thing FTI Cerruti Saturday, because that dude is unstoppable on Saturday. The rest of the week, I mean, he did okay, I guess. I don't remember him, like doing anything spectacular, though. I don't know what round he was out yesterday, or the 2 days previous. I don't remember him going real far. I just don't remember paying any attention, but so 012 light. Rod says, Dave says a 40 light. Oh, okay. Hagen says a 012. Good. So, dude, excuse me, an 012, a 12 light on with 5 over on your dial, pretty good. That is a good package. And a foot brake car, a 17 package is pretty legit. I mean, the round before, he was like an 11 package, though. So, yeah. Oh, and he has lane choice. God, I got the hiccups, guys. Oh, Andy's saying that there were sparks under the car at the finish line. So the revving up may not have been him hitting a kit. It may have been the transmission hurt or something. Or converter or something. That's no good, dude. If he broke a converter, I have to say, I don't want to jinx this. He had a 12 light. It looked lazy when it left the starting line. It just didn't look like it picked up the wheels as much. So I'm totally armchair quarterbacking this one right now based on you saying, Andy, that there were some sparks under it. But maybe the converter was going, and that's why his reaction time was a little bit down. And then he goes through the lights, and the thing eats the converter. I don't know. Totally could be wrong. Uh-oh. I mean, you guys have to understand that you're watching on a screen like yay big, and I'm watching the whole race on a screen this big, and I actually don't get to pay attention hardly to what the cars are doing a lot of times in these kind of scenarios, because it's just about keeping it in frame and all that. Not like when I'm announcing and I can then go, oh, that thing shook the tires or it did this or it did that, but wow. That's no good. Shh. Don't jinx it. I'm sorry. I want Cerruti to win. He's the door car guy in a Camaro. The funny thing is, everybody knows me as like the wagon guy and all this stuff and all the things. everybody that really, really knows me, all my buddy, I'm a Camaro guy. I have a 69 Camaro convertible at home, which is also another project for this year that I've had since I was 13 years old. Former NHRA multiple time national record holder, national championship winning car. Like I love that car. And so I'm a Camaro guy. So dude, Rudy is in a Camaro and I'm totally down with a giant tire under it, by the way. Wow. It's a big tire under that car. I hope Cerruti this time, like, has a big chain and some pole to tie all of his stuff to when he gets to the hotel on the way home or whatever. I'm saying that because, you know, he's repeating his performance. I don't want him to repeat the car theft. Or, well, not the Heath. You know what. Ooh, Dave Hill, I like 69 Camaro Pro Street cars. That's a good thing. I never did mine. There you go. Fattori says it's just a muffler bearing. Totally can win without one of those. I always wanted a Pro Street 69 Camaro, and someday I'll probably do one, but I can't do it to mine because it's a convertible, and I don't mean I can't, like, as in unable to do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Although I say that, and I have a guy who's told me that he will paint the car for really cheap, and it needs to, because there was an unfortunate trailer incident and the left front fender is a little gacked and it has rust in a couple spots that needs to be fixed. And so I may have the car painted and quarters put on it and a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not sure. So if that happens, because I'm a broke dick, like all of you, so we'll see. So if I can make this happen, then I might do that, and I am considering mini tubbing it at the same time. But I don't really want to back half it and all that stuff. Although it would be cool because a cage in a convertible is rad, and it's getting a cage anyway. But no, I'm just going to mini tub it. That's it. Ooh, 800 cubic inches and a couple of stages, a couple of kits. That's great. I have to say, a few stages should mean 3 or more. Daphne's wagon is a small block, daily driver, overdrive, air conditioning, stereo, etc. And it has 1 kit of nitrous, 2 kits of nitrous, 3 kits of nitrous. Which actually means that in truth, if I utilized them separately and then in combinations together, I suppose I could do like 5 kits of nitrous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I suppose you could do a lot of them with it. I don't know how many you'd have to figure it out, what they'd have to be. Oh, 5. See, that's a few. I like that. 5 is good. It's the drive chef send. Oh, I like the idea of it being a trans blanket strap hitting the ground. I'm all over there. Come on and be something that didn't matter. I will say he has not driven by on the return road, but I'm not sure I've seen him drive down the return road at all, because here at Vegas, so let's see, that line, where's the scoreboard? Oh, okay. So there's the scoreboard. Right next to the scoreboard where my finger is wiggling is where the return road comes down and then goes along in front of the grandstands. But up there behind the scoreboard is another entrance into the pits. So you can instead go into the pits from that end and through if you don't want to come down along in front of the grandstands. I can't say that I remember one way or the other if he's, like, which way he's gone all day today or any day. So it may not be anything. I could be just making up drama for no reason. But you will note that nobody is talking in the tower either. Let's see what they're doing up there. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. This is me being ambidextrous. Well, that's locked. And loaded. Okay, here we go. Oh. Okay, I believe that's Randy in the middle. It's Mike Eames on the right, and I think Nate was hiding over behind the computer monitor on the left. I'm not sure, though. We'll see. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to read the stuff. Sorry. Yeah, let's see how many of you yawn. Come on, be honest in the chat window. If you yawn after I yawned on video, tell us. Do it. Any red cups? I don't understand. For Tori, I only saw a couple where they actually were doing such extreme braking as to have smoke. Only a couple. Oh, Peter is talking to somebody. Mark Dawson. See, he's paying attention to me. Yay. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark, and Jeff Foster for the cable and microphone, by the way, which saved. And I'm going to not be using the wireless anymore. The truth of the matter is, this is just way more reliable, and I don't have to deal with batteries. So I already have all of this at home. I just didn't bring any of it. So it'll be good. Peter in the tower, red cups. Oh, red solo cups. God, I hate that song. Now you're going to put it in my head. Yeah, yawning. Awesome. Huh, another one. Yeah. I'm going to make hundreds of thousands of people yawn all over. That's what I want to do. No red cups yet, but soon. Oh, yes, now I get it. I'm sorry, I'm a little slow on the uptake. They will be well into the red cups, if past years are any indication. They will be well into the red cups before I get all of this done and packed up and end up over there. Oh, hold on. Talking. Hold on.
All right, so, and then there was two.
Yep.
Vinny Domino, Brian Cerruti. We will take you back to the staging lanes. Vinny Domino and Brian Cerruti. Dragster versus door car, top bowl versus bottom bowl. Cerruti's been killing it. Domino, a multi-time division champion Oscar holder when he won a Division I bracket finals, went to Pomona, I believe, twice. Won the New Media Dragway Track Championship a couple of times.
It's going to get interesting. Okay.
Owner-operator of New Media Dragway. It's going to be fun, Nate.
I know we're a little late. I don't know if Chad believes that.
So Chad zoomed in on us.
Yeah. We waved like 30 minutes ago.
Well, they could definitely tell who Big Randy is from the silhouette. So who will claim the last big check of the 2018 K&N Spring Fling Million presented by Optima Batteries?
I mean, at this point, for Cerruti, when he was making his way closer and closer to the final round, and again wanted to wait until he was able to pull off kind of exactly what he did here. Made it to the final Saturday night last year, made it to the final here. Basically, we just start calling him Saturday Night Cerruti.
That works.
So it is going to be Saturday Night Cerruti. Oh, look, again, we're way behind, but see Big Randy?
There's Big Randy, yep.
Yeah, the people on the live feed know exactly now why he's named Big Randy.
My bodyguard.
That doorway disappeared when Randy walked through it.
see Emily in the background. Smile, babe, you're live. Oh, there we go. I caught up to you. Oh, boy. Marky Mark.
Oh, man.
I'm going to tell Blake on you.
What? Yep. They're catching it. Oh. Oh.
There's Cowboy.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I am going to take a little minute here. We've said thanks to a lot of people. We've said thanks to everybody that's here on property. But it's my understanding, I asked Chad a little while ago, he said that we've still got like 1,000 people that are watching online.
Nice.
Paying attention, tuning into the event. You know, thanks to Jags, thanks to Hoosier for putting the live feed together. Of course, we've said thanks to Chad.
Okay, so I do hear cars running in the pits, but I don't know if it's people loading stuff up or if it's them coming. It's definitely a dragster. No, Rod Hagen, we're not going for a drive tonight. It's good, but there's not nearly as long a celebration tonight, so it won't work. I don't know what Peter just said. Hold on.
Unless Chad's talking over us. I can't tell. There's a little delay.
Someone what? Oh, rain? Yeah, I don't think so.
So, Nate, as we get a little bit closer.
We are.
What? Oh, $100 if somebody hits it perfect? Sounds good?
All right, so we're talking about,
I agree.
I'm waiting to see some predictions. Will it be the dragster? Will it be the door car? Will it be Big Vin? Will it be Cerruti? Let's hear it, live feed. Bang shift.
Okay, everybody. Peter's asking for you guys to vote. Is it going to be the dragster or is it going to be the door car? Is it going to be Cerruti or is it going to be the dragster? Which one is going to win this final? Will Cerruti do it again? 2 years in a row to make it Cerruti Saturday? Tell us right now.
do you think, Timmy? Where's the wink? So, Nate.
Yes, sir.
Vinny Domino has a crew chief. His nickname is the Wink. He is a nervous wreck right now.
Oh,
His nickname's the Wink.
I don't know him personally.
You've seen him out there.
I've seen him out there.
He got kicked off the starting line twice because he had no shirt on.
And I've also seen video of a little ride that they gave him in a race car.
Oh, so you really know the Wink.
I've seen the video.
All right.
Okay, I've been saying it wrong. Cerruti didn't win last year. He was runner-up to Marco. I forgot about that. So Cerruti did not win against the dragster last year. Marco won. So is he going to get redemption right now? He just pulled under the tower, and it's moving under its own power. This is the final for the FTI $30,000 Saturday final round. Jags Hoosier, Molly, Raceback, Holly, Aeromotive, Autometer, and Mark Williams. Thank you to all of them for sponsoring it, and thank you for tuning in. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, but it's Ohio versus New York, and I think Cerruti definitely used that lane choice to his advantage. He's smart. He pays attention. He watches what's going on the racetrack. He watches where people are at, and he knew that Big Vin has been running that right lane all day long, and as soon as that lane choice came up, it's like, you're going to bump. You're going to go over here. I'm going to take this one. Cerruti's been in both lanes. We saw him take that last pass, be dead on in the semifinals on a solo shot. We know he's been dead on a couple of times going down the right side of the racetrack. And now, I really think both drivers, based on the dials, based on where they're at, I think it's going to come down to the bulbs.
Yeah, and you know what? Cerruti has been teeing off the bottom bulb the last three hits. Big Vin has been hitting the tree well all night, but the last round, he had an uncharacteristically late 040. I'm going to make a prediction. Cerruti's going to be good, and Big Vin is going to be good. Big Vin will not miss the tree twice in a row.
Well, we'll find out. And yeah, AJ, real quick, as they get them lined up, I agree with you. Big shout out to Sean before we wrap things up. 650 is the dial-in as Cerruti starts to bump it into the bulbs. Big Vin Domino, 473. Tree drops. Waiting on the reaction time.
Wow. The dragster with the 38th hour reaction time advantage, and what did I tell you? He will not miss the tree twice in a row. Big Vin, the money round, the money shot, 007, 474 and a 473, takes home the final big check of the 2008 Spring Fling Million.
And then Brian Cerruti ends up 13th hour above, and it did. It came down the lights. Look at this. I mean, Big Vin was 14th hour at the dial. Cerruti was 13th hour at the dial. That basically was not in the factor there, but 45 on the tree for Brian Cerruti after he's been like the best of the bunch the last couple of go-rounds of all of them out here. Box, no box, doesn't matter. His reaction time was the best. This one, he comes up a little bit slow, and it cost him.
Yeah, Cerruti is not going to be happy about that reaction time. He was teamed the last three rounds. He was 045 right there, and Big Vin made him pay for all of it. So congratulations, both finalists. Hey, you could not ask for a better way to end the 2018 Spring Fling Million. A bottom bulb car, a top bulb dragster, shooting it out for the last big check, and we're going to head over to the winner's circle.
We're going to do a quick...
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. What a Spring Fling Million here on the West Coast for 2018. Absolutely amazing. Super thrilled to death to be here. We're going to go to the winner's circle from here. I'll shoot it from here. And you'll hear Nate on the mic. And then we're going to, as soon as he's done talking to Brian Cerruti, we will cut the feed. But thank you again for tuning in. Thanks to Aeromotive Fuel Systems, Holly, Racepack, Autometer, Molly, and Mark Williams Enterprises. Thank you so much. Please support all our sponsors. Go tell them thank you. Big thanks to Jags and Hoosier, as well as all the Spring Fling Million family, FTI, Racepack, and Maytag, Silver State AC. Cerruti, man, congratulations on a runner-up. And what a great event. This whole thing has just been amazing. Very, very cool, and super excited to be here. Can't wait for next year again. Stay tuned. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of other events that are coming up over the rest of the year. So we'll be back here in 2 weeks for LS Fest West and a lot of other cool stuff that's going on at bankshift.com and in the Chad Reynolds world over the next few months. So this week we will be live on Facebook from the FM3 Road Trip Cars and Cones, driving the Ride Tech 48-hour Camaro and having a great time with all of that too. So look for video live and otherwise, as well as photos on bankshift.com and everywhere. Love you guys. Do this for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of the kind words and all of the support over the last year and a half. Thank you for tuning in and spreading the word and waving the Bankshift flag proudly. We do appreciate it very much. Thanks, guys. We're going down to Nate in the winner's circle.
Alright, so we're going to do this way because we know that the microphone was causing some issues the other night. This one works a little bit better. Big Ben Davino rolling in here, Vinny. Fantastic show here today as Cerruti steps up, shakes your hand. But you are going to put on that event champion jacket, getting a big hug from Peter Biondo, good friends down here. And Vinny, man, I know it started off as a rough weekend, but today everything started to turn around. The lights started falling your direction, and when it came down to it, you know, you missed the tree badly there, or not badly, but missed it in the semis. That didn't happen in the finals. You nailed that.
Yeah, it was a really rough start to the week. This car wasn't even leaving the line for the first 2 days. It was just stalling out. Howie fixed that up and got a good crew of guys, and my luck definitely turned around today, that's for sure.
It did. I mean, you guys have been coming out here for several years and supporting Pete, supporting the group, but this year it's nice to have that big check. It's nice to get things done, and I mean, it's a brutal group of guys that are out here. They come in just the best of the best, and you're the one walking away with a big check. That's got to feel really good.
It does. Very tough racing out here. I was out here the first year that we had, it was like a 10 grander, we came out for it, and I actually ran the foot brake class too, and I could, from then to now, the competition has definitely stepped up, even I could tell, and it's a lot of work to get out here for us, and I'm just glad to make it pay off with a win.
Well, it definitely paid off. Congratulations, Vinny Domino. Nicely done, taking out the other 400 cars. Congratulations, champ. Check, check. So Vinny's got a really big crew here, and Wink, we have to say a couple of words. You look a little emotional right now. What's going through your mind? What's going through your mind, bud?
He's just amazing.
Keep it down. Alright, a man of few words. Winky's really emotional right now, but I'm really proud of my good friend, Big Vin and Domino family. I know him really well. Cerruti off the bottom. What more can you say about this guy over here off the bottom and just killing it all day long? And great event for you guys to finish it off like this. You know what, before we wrap things up here, a whole lot of feedback from came up with the nickname Saturday Night Cerruti, because last year we were out here with Saturday night in the finals. This year we're out here at Saturday night in the finals. And man, you took them almost all out again on a Saturday. It just seems to be your day. Saturday works for you here in Vegas.
Yeah, I think I need like 25 time trials or something before I can actually start hitting the tree maybe. But I'm just happy I was able to get here. Hopefully I can get all my stuff home now. That'll be great.
What's cool about the dash is it has multiple different screens that we can preset on our laptop. So we have a street dash, and then we have, you know, like full-on race where it just shows the tack, what gear she's in, and then water temp, and oil pressure. And then we also have the screen that has all of the parameters on one screen. We use that when we do our dyno testing and tuning and stuff so that we can monitor everything at once. Our relationship with Autometer and the experience that we've had with them has been really cool.
Want EFI performance without a fuel system hassle?